And we're good. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I can't believe I haven't had a show in like 2 weeks because, there was snow dumped on us and then it was a Monday schedule. The school is just weird and the weather is weird. So I finally returned and I'm kind of lucky because it was kind of a slow news week until about now. So that's what we're going to do today. It's the B roll. Now, we're going to start with baseball. Spring training has just started and I am super excited because as I mentioned, the Super Bowl was a bit mediocre and the Giants had an absolutely horrible season. And now the Rangers are blowing it up. Well, they should be blowing it up, but they're blowing it up in ways that people are a bit angry about. But we're going to talk about baseball first. As everyone knows, spring training started this week. There are spring training games going on. The Yankees, their spring training game actually got canceled because of the weather down in Florida, which is where they're training right now. Red Sox game got canceled. And just looking at some highlights from the Mets game that was going on, they're playing Detroit right now. They are getting killed. Sounds like a typical Tuesday. But so we're gonna start out with Manny Machado, who everyone was waiting around to see where he was gonna sign. A lot of people wanted him, but guess where he signed? He signed in San Diego. I have no idea why he signed there. I know people generally will go where the money is. I'm gonna just redo his contract. I know it's $300 million. Where the heck is this? Oh, here we are. 10-year, $300 million contract through the 2028 season and has an opt out after 2023. Now, as everyone knows, the Padres have probably been one of the worst teams in the league. Even though they aren't as bad as the Orioles, they still are a pretty bad team. And I feel like Manny is just going to be doing what he was doing when he was in Baltimore. At least when he was in LA, he was playing on a contendership team. Though ironically, he was the one who had the last strikeout, causing Boston to win their World Series, and I really just find that funny. But well, he certainly made bank that day, and good luck playing in San Diego. Now, Bryce Harper, who I also want to bring up, he actually hasn't signed anywhere yet, which I do find a bit strange since the season is going to start really soon, it's usually like late March, and there's about a month left until actual play starts. And Harper has not signed anywhere yet, and people are still waiting around for him. But the two current rumors of where he's going to go, on the one hand, the Philadelphia Phillies, who a lot of people have been hearing about in this postseason, they've been very active in trying to get players like Machado and the other bigger players that were on the market this year. And another team which is somewhat interesting because they had a bit of a signing spree last year, the San Francisco Giants, who they signed last year. They signed Longoria. They signed wait, Andrew McCutchen, and they signed a few other names, but as you know, things happened. They didn't make the playoffs. They weren't in last place because the Padres are in their division, but they weren't great either. Even though, as I say, AT&T is probably the prettiest park in the whole entire baseball league. But now we're gonna get to hockey because the NHL trade deadline was actually last night, and the Rangers sadly lost a couple of names to this. First up, we have Mark Zuccarello, who I'm very depressed that he is now gone. He went to the Dallas Stars. Matt Zuccarello, sorry. Yeah, I'm exhausted right now. Matt Zuccarello, who we'll just oh god, they got conditional picks for him. Oh my god. Yeah. And the worst part was there was an interview that Henrik Lundqvist had been doing, and he was crying on this interview when they asked, "Oh, how do you feel that Matt's leaving the team?" And the funny thing is Matt actually is injured right now, which he got injured just blocking a shot. I don't know if it was in practice or in a game. I think it was in practice. He got injured blocking a shot. He's out for 4 weeks now. So Dallas can't even use him right now. And also, this was yesterday. Hayes. Yeah, Hayes actually left the Rangers too, which I was also very sad about. So basically, and he also was traded for like 20,000 draft picks. So overall, the Rangers, yes, they're doing what they needed to do for a while. They've needed to just start from scratch, go in, get draft picks, but when you see players that you've, like, watched for a while and you're kinda sad that, like, they're leaving you, and these are the players that you've watched for years, and Zuccarello, as everyone knows, was on the core when they, made their Stanley Cup run. It's very hard to watch, especially, being a Federal I'm not crying over this, I have allergies. It's weird, I took my meds the feels, like, when you take your allergy meds and I literally spent, like, $50 on allergy medicine, and I'm still like this. Like, I had Flonase, I had Zyrtec, I was, like, fine, and, it doesn't work. Like, I feel like it's never gonna work no matter what happens, and, of course, spring is approaching on one hand. We're not gonna freeze our butts off like we have been for the past couple of weeks, but on the other hand, that's when the pollen comes out, and I'm going to be a disaster like everyone else who deals with allergies in their life, but just, a few things because I know a lot of you out there are dealing with this stuff, or maybe you just got allergies. It's kinda what happened to me. I got them my junior year of high school. I was fine, like, before then, I never got anything, and then my junior year of high school, it felt like I was having constant colds, and, of course, I didn't know, like, they were allergies. I thought, like, "Why am I getting a cold? It's, like, March." Like, I understand if I get a cold in, like, the winter, but it's March, and then these turned into, like, these year-round allergies that I have all the time unless I go to, like, Las Vegas or something, literally. I have to be in, like, the desert to be okay. So, just remember, the difference between a cold and allergies is allergies, you have congestion every day. It's not really severe unless, like, there could be days where you have really severe congestion and, like, you can't breathe when you're sleeping, like, things like that. That is one sign. Your eyes water because when you have a cold, your eyes don't necessarily water, and if you don't have a fever, like, you could just kinda touch yourself and see how you feel. Those are allergies, and congratulations, you're on for a horrible ride. It is not fun, but to give you a few tips because I've kinda, like, been experimenting with medicine for, like, the last few years, and I'm trying to figure out what works for me. What I find, well, the first thing is Flonase, and I feel like everyone should have it's just any nasal spray, like, they have nasal spray for allergies. I personally use Flonase. And yes, it may seem scary that you do have to stick you literally have to stick this thing up your nose and spray it up there, but trust me, it works very well, and that I generally will use once a day. The thing with allergy meds is that you can't be taking them, like, you can't be just popping them like Dayquils and stuff, so you do have to kinda time it for when your allergies are usually the worst. Some people say take it at night. That's good if you have, like, dust allergies and you can't breathe at night and you have to, you could take your Flonase and then you could take whatever allergy pill you take. I personally take Zyrtex or whatever the CVS brand is. I think I got, like, these, like, pink ones, but those weren't really working, so I left them in my house. So I got Zyrtec, and those are working a lot better for me, but you kinda have to figure out what works for you. The other thing is, yeah, as I said, timing. So sometimes they'll tell you to take it at night because then you'll wake up in the morning and you'll be okay, but the problem with that is it may wear off, like, during the day. So, I don't know, you go to bed at, like, I'm just gonna say 12, for example. You go to bed at 12, you take the meds at, like, 11:50-ish, and you're fine at night, like, you could breathe, all that stuff, but then the morning might come, go to your class, we'll just say your class start at 10, you may be congested again by, like, 3. So, I generally have just taken the approach of taking them when I wake up, like, the second I wake up, I'll take the meds and all that stuff, and that has worked for me. But also, because the other thing is you may have allergies and you're just like, "Okay, I'm congested again." You may not notice when you're getting a cold, but that I feel like you'll know when you have a cold even when you're, like, dealing with all this congestion stuff. "Oh, I cleared up. It finally happened, I cleared up." But, the other thing is, and this may be for the future, I know all of you are trying to find a job. Different regions may being in another place may help you. So, I discovered this when I went to California, and my allergies were bad my senior year. Like, I think there were some days I'd miss school because I was that congested. Like, it felt like I had the flu, literally. And I went to, like, California, I went to Las Vegas. I was fine. I didn't have a single allergy. Like, I had nothing. And I was like, "Man," of course, I took my meds with me. I'm like, "Oh god, what if I get allergies?" But it ended up working. I didn't have to take anything. I was able to just walk out. I was never congested. It was great. So, If you could, and some people are able to do this, and some people that have more severe allergies, like I just have these kind of seasonal allergies. Some people have like really, really bad ones. And I'm very fortunate that I am not one of those people. You may have to move to another place. I'm dead serious. You may have to move to another state in like a completely different region, like because the Northeast like has specific pollens and like things in the air that may cause you to have allergies, but the West Coast or like the Midwest, they might not have that. They might have different like, maybe your body is going to go, "Oh, I'm gonna find something new to be allergic to," and you may find something that you're gonna be allergic to there, but it may lessen other allergies that you might have, and if you're lucky enough, you may find that you will not have to deal with these certain allergies again. Well, I came here from talking about baseball, but that's what radio is. Kinda run around, and, actually on the next bit, I'm actually gonna talk about Iona news. That's something I don't do too often, but a few things are happening that I feel like I should bring up, so we will be back on that.